Hello and welcome to my new series. Instead of fireside chat, it's going to be called sausage roll side chat. Something like that. SQ and sausage rolls. Or snacks. Snacks and SSQ. I definitely know that there's one timing in music, and in our playback systems with our split speakers and our confined spaces, there's still one timing for each speaker, and I just don't think cabin loading or horn loading or reflections or any kind of double interference changes your perception of phase of that first motion of the cone that's the most predominant side of the cone that's facing you. And if you have like outer domes, it's pretty simple. That's the closest bit. If you have concave drivers, like most drivers, without a dust cap that go in, that's like you sort of compromise there, you get a bit of loading in phase, but I digress. Maybe something with a dust cap that's somewhere near the equal size to the outer diameter if you can. Yeah, that's pretty close to, not as good as a extrusional round soft dome in my opinion, but you can't get lower and lower drivers with pure domes. Forget all that. There was one timing, and it's pretty easy to set, and it's pretty easy to hear. It's harder to hear in tweeters, but you can still kind of hear it. Anyway, for some reason, our integrated time saturation in the way we hear things, so if something does have loading and does have reflections, that comes into play with magnitude. And FIR equalizers are good at separating magnitude from time. And that's what I've been doing, equalizing, getting an acoustic power response off my system, off the left side or right side, and then getting great centering. And upping the resolution of my corrections improve the centering. And finding the sweet spot in the radius, that also helped with my centering. And I thought I found, there's one magnitude. I thought I found it, and it was something like 30 centimeters one day, 40 the next, 35 the next day, then 40 the next day. So I said, I threw my hands up in the air and said, well, it's probably roughly 35. And then I'm going to have to do heaps and heaps of tests. I'm going to have repeatable winner. I can't just have one winner one day, one winner the next day. And so I'm contemplating my next batch of tests. I'll have to measure 30, then I'll have to measure 35, and I have to measure 40. I have to keep my old 30, 35, and 40, and then I'd have to do a second retest. So I'd end up having to test 6 or 9 things against each other. 3 lots of 30, 3 lots of 35, 3 lots of 40. See if I could find, like at least, 60, 70, 80, 90%. Well, it's definitely this, or it's definitely that. But while I was doing this, thinking, I was fiddling around with my 8-inch woofer because it's not in my cluster, and nor is the 12-inch, but the 8-inch I was just swapping out separate radius lengths for that driver, and I also did a specific measurement for my 8s where the string started at the cone somewhere near the cone, of the 8-inch. And I was going in and out with them going, yeah, that's great. I think it's better to measure around the 8. But then this little pesky thing came up where the handoff to the 6 it started affecting the way that transition period was centering. So yeah, I was winning in the 8 and everything was up front and good chest thumping bass, and yeah, the imaging at the top and the high mids, everything was like a laser, a freaking laser. And then I could just keep, every time I switched the 8s, or A being some of the 6-inches, I'd get this discrepancy in the handover. And it was driving me bonkers. And also, I couldn't calibrate my house curve because the 8s were a separate measurement. So it wasn't a pure acoustic power of the whole system. It was, acoustic power of 70% of the system. And then my dog wants the crumbs. He's going, it never takes this long to eat your snack. Yeah, just have to wait. And then, so I'll get up today and think, what am I going to do with this quandary? I'm in a quandary. I thought maybe I could do like an extruded ellipse sphere, like an egg shape, to try scan around the top part and make it wider as it goes around the 8-inch. And I thought, it sounds like a headache. How am I going to get the accuracy on the string and then swap it? Yeah, that's literally what I have to do, is put 2 strings and do the first top half and then swap to this other string and do the bottom half. And that was kind of annoying. And then I did that thing the other night where I opened my door and just adjusted the timing, and the depth and the centering remained accurate, yet it got a little bit wider. And then I was sitting there, opened both doors and just did a little shits and giggles, stood at the back of the car and set the timing, and then, yeah, that's pretty cool but pretty useless. And then I measured, open both doors, half open string, and I'll leave the rest for another discussion, because right now I'm just trying to digest what I just heard, and it's haunting me, as Lewis Hamilton said about going to a portaloo. Here you go, dog. Yeah.